It's Alive, created by Neil Patrick Harris, was an absolute train wreck.
And been in the TV audience for 24 cooking shows. That's this group. That's this group. I read this one.
Calm down.
Oh, they passed it.
Calm down.
Go back. Go back. So it's a scare for all of us. All right, we're getting them back into the hallway, and we're gonna try room number 2 with these ladies. I'm surprised that they chose.
So how exactly was this Halloween special an unmitigated disaster? Let's find out. You already know Neil Patrick Harris. Whether you remember him as the teenage doctor on Doogie Howser, as Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother, or my personal favorite as the telepathic space fascist from Starship Troopers who says this iconic line,
"It's afraid. It's afraid!"
The point is, you know Neil Patrick Harris and the star power that he brings to any project that he's involved in. That's why I assume it was a no-brainer when Reese's decided to cast him as the host of their brand new online interactive haunted house experience hosted on Facebook Live. I'll let Neil give a rundown of exactly what this project entails himself.
Hi, I'm Neil Patrick Harris, and Halloween has always held a very special place in my heart. Sorry, Halloween. The air would crackle with wonder and possibility and candy. That's why this year, Reese's and I are teaming up to create a very special, completely live and interactive haunted house right here in this space on October 24th. Oh, ooh, definitely go with the My First Exorcist doll. See if you can make it puke. We'll be inviting guests into this house, and you will help decide what happens to them in each room live while it's happening. That is, ugh. Let's go with the head, but make sure it has like guts coming out of the neck. You say that? Neck guts, is that a thing? You know what I'm talking about. Cool, I can't wait. Reese's has agreed to supply the treats, and with your help, I'm supplying the tricks. This is gonna be fun.
I mean, it sounds like a pretty cool idea, right? This special Halloween event was produced by Matador Content. I'm sure you've seen their stuff before, actually. Ever heard of Lip Sync Battle? In case you haven't, it's a show where celebrities perform dance routines and lip sync to popular music. The videos rack up a lot of views on YouTube, with many performances having millions of hits. Oh look, here's Neil Patrick Harris performing Smooth Criminal by Michael Jackson. Please enjoy the Sega Genesis version of the song from Michael Jackson's Moonwalker so that I can avoid a copyright strike. You'd think that such an experienced team would be able to handle this Facebook Live event, but there were signs of disaster early on.
Okay, so you're beta testers. If you're on this, you're on Facebook Live right now with me. We're doing our It's Alive Immersive Haunted House, October the 24th. Sponsored by Reese's. Turn this way, you can see the people. So they're controlling what you're seeing. They just told me 5 seconds before your audio's live, and you're gonna, we're literally just starting. So we're gonna have to fix this. Hello. This seems terrible placement. Not terrible. We're just beginning. On doctor's orders to move my hand a lot because I had some surgery, and apparently you're supposed to keep doing this. So watch your step. Here's a room. So is this going to be the actual size of each of the rooms? Pretty much. Does it feel big or does it feel small? It feels big enough. Because we're going to put stuff in here and scares. MPH signing out. We'll see you in a week, if not less. No, a week. 6 days from today. It's Alive. Facebook Live. Peace out, guys.
So even though Neil claims that they're just beginning work on the project, there are only 6 days till the day of the event. Now, that's not a lot of time at all to prep for an event of this magnitude, and that fact will become very evident very soon. So the day arrives, October 24th, 2019. It's 9 p.m. and the stream is still not live. It starts about 15 minutes later, but better late than never, I suppose. I'll turn things over to Neil Patrick Harris and allow him to explain the plans for the evening.
Loving, loving. Welcome everybody to It's Alive, the world's first live and interactive trick or treat house. When we said 9 o'clock sharp, we were talking about machetes. Sorry we're a couple minutes late. We're going to get started in just a moment, but I want to thank you first for joining me on this strange and historic evening. Dudes, tonight you are not just the audience. You are going to be the writer, the director, even the props master. You will be helping us shape and control everything that you see. Our cutting-edge interactive technology allows everyone a democratic vote and has the potential to bring the world closer together than ever before. So instead, let's use it to emotionally scar some nice, unassuming New Yorkers, shall we? You will be my partner in crime. We will conspire to torture and torment these poor, unfortunate souls. This is how we're going to be doing it. For months now, a small army has been running around and crafting these little interactive nightmares. And they haven't just been building them, they've been rehearsing them, they've been play testing them and researching each scene to make sure that we've created the potential for maximum terror. And I mean, we have been doing this non-stop. Yesterday was insanity. Today we have been dress rehearsing, changing things. I'm kind of not sure how it's going to go.
As you can see, there's just a little bit of embellishment in terms of the preparation. Yeah, we're only 1 minute into the show and you can already see that Neil has this foreboding sense of impending doom.
Every set and interactive choice was designed to make tonight an evening unlike any other, literally and figuratively. None of this would be the same. It's not going to happen the same way because you're going to get choices and you're going to be making decisions, and then I'm going to be calling things on the fly and different things are going to... Halloween isn't just about the terrifying thrill of the unknown, though. It is also about candy, dudes. Once we think our guests have had enough, they will be heading to the treat suite. Hashtag play on words. Reese's has crafted a little sugary oasis full of games and surprising candy concoctions. So that'll be fun. So as much as we've tried, we can't plan for anything, right? You're the wild card. Dress rehearsal we did hours ago, it was, while informative, will not, nay, cannot be the thing we will experience right now. So here's how it's going to work. All our teams have been told is that when they enter a room, they need to find a key to unlock the door to leave. That's it. We'll put each team through, I don't know, 1 or 2 freakish experiences, and then off to the treat suite they will go to laugh, or to commiserate, or to cry, or all of the above. Okay, cool, shall we start? First up, oh, let's do this. It's the Dancing Divas.
Okay, so the basic format for this thing is that before each spooky sequence, we get this little montage that shows the team that will be doing the walkthrough of the haunted house. I guess the idea behind that is that we kind of get invested in who these people are so that we care what happens to them. But let's be honest, that is not what we're here for. That's not why you're watching the video, so we're just gonna be skipping through all that stuff. Okay, good. Start things off with a bang. As you can see already, there's a lot of dead air on this show.
This is...
I'm right here.
Should we sit?
Go ahead. Make yourself at home. Oh, there's a right there.
Oh, really? Oh, no. Who's back there? Oh, yeah. Someone's about to...
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, there's so much work to be done. Oh, so much work. So much work to be done!
Oh, God.
Oh, no. You will be free. Oh. fix you. We will help you. Where you need to be!
So already a few things. The total dead air silence is very uncomfortable. The overall vibe is way more awkward than spooky.
Well, that was fun. All right, now they're gonna go back into the hallway and they're gonna go to the second room. We picked it this time. We'll take them to, I don't know, I think we're gonna go to the scary mannequin room next. You're gonna meet the mannequin maker. I like that they were freaking out. It says this isn't Connie's first time in the spotlight, that she's been in the TV audience for over 24 cooking shows. I bet they weren't this horrifying. Okay, well, that was a good shot.
So that was pretty uncomfortable, and that laughter was definitely nervous. We already have the first technical error of the show, which Neil so graciously pointed out to all of us. Not been the best start, but hey, maybe it gets better from here.
Stay still and don't move!
You can barely hear what the actress is saying at all, which I would assume is probably pretty critical to understanding what's going on in this scene. The whole sequence is just pretty disorienting.
No!
Sit down!
Save yourself! Run!
Leave her!
Where's Kristen?
They didn't get the key. You know what? I think the Dancing Divas have had enough tricks. Let's give them some treats. They're about to discover the Reese's Treat Suite. It's a mini wonderland filled with some chocolate, peanut butter, and fun, I say, with earnestness. You guys have earned it. Well done.
It's pretty clear from Neil's reaction here that whatever was supposed to happen was not what happened at all. You know, I'm kind of half expecting to see a gunman off camera forcing Neil to do this, given how uncomfortable he looks the entire time.
Oh, man. Okay. Oh, they're entering the treat suite. Oh, look at it. Music plays.
Oh, my God. Thank God.
Can
We
I
made
go
it?
in this?
Is this?
Am I allowed
I don't know if we're being set up.
to? Oh, just jump in.
I'm jumping in too?
Well, that was entertaining.
This group of brothers and friends are, in a word, insane. Don't believe me because because of a $100 bet, Sonny wore a Speedo to a car show for 3 entire days. Still don't believe me? Still paying attention? They are also once pranked one of their own mothers by bringing a live horse and goat into her home along with a professional DJ. How are they going to react in here? Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. Check them out.
Me and Pete love to be scared, and they hate to be scared. So if you want to see two beefy guys have a nervous breakdown, you need to pick us.
Let's be honest, the only person here that's gonna have a mental breakdown is Neil Patrick Harris.
Let's watch this. I can push this button.
Right? Calm down.
Oh, they passed it.
Calm down.
Go
Where we
back. Go back. Where are they going? Oh no, we're off the rails.
Where are we going?
Oh, Pete, it's all you, Pete.
I'm not. They just kept. They wanted treats so bad. They just went straight ahead. Forgot what they were doing. Okay, so apparently we lost one team. They walked into the hallway, and they're apparently still walking. Are they? Yeah, they're gone. Okay, well that was fun.
It just keeps getting better. Eventually, the crew is able to wrangle the boys and get them back on set.
This is off our pet beast. Don't be afraid, he's harmless. He just looks good. He's okay. Right? We should get his leash, someone. Someone get the leash.
I'm good. Go ahead. Yo, Pete! Yo, Pete! Pete! Oh, God. Take the key! No, let's go. Wait. Oh. Stay.
All right, so it started out as kind of dinner theme.
And then it moved into some big scares. They were trying to play it cool, and then they got a little super scared, so that was good. That made me laugh a couple times. And I think that axe was real. Okay, here they go. They're off to the treat suite. Thank goodness, that's where they were heading all along.
Reese's Pieces? Oh, wow.
Believe it or not, that was probably one of the best executed sequences from the entire show. And it basically just amounted to a bunch of random actors jumping out and spooking people, screaming in their faces, blah! Neil is already starting to sweat, and we're just getting started here. So next up is Neil's husband, David. But pay close attention and you'll hear a special vocal cameo from the director.
Apparently America only says it'll only take him 5 seconds to scream. Let's count. Let's wait till they get in the room. Here, I'll send him to the dentist room.
Light the room. Light him up. Ready, camera 9. Hey, push him in there.
Oh no, they're passing the room again. Turn around.
Someone grab Jim and bring him in here. No, nobody. Go hide. I see you. 39.
So that's his friend Stacy and his friend Daniel.
Yes, 11. 11.
Oh boy.
11.
Hello.
Can you imagine such a thing on any other live broadcast? Like you're watching the news or something and the entire time you just hear the director screaming at the camera guy who's like operating the switchboard. Insanity.
Oh, please get me my teeth.
The one is gonna fall.
Get them!
1, 2.
Get my teeth! I think it's on the floor. Oh, maybe over there. No, maybe over there. Please, I need some teeth. Thank you.
Come on, teeth! I love your teeth!
Are you dentist? I need help. Thank you. Thank you. I need a dentist.
The doctor is in! They don't have my key.
I love how the dentist almost breaks character because he's so confused as to what the hell is going on.
Can you help me?
We have your
They just ran out before they got the key.
Into the dentist.
They gotta get the key. Tell them they have to go back and get the key.
Hi guys. We're back. Did you forget something?
My tools! My tools, orderly! I cannot begin without my tools.
Oh, yes! Yes! Oh.
Is this yours?
Okay, yes. Will that be my teeth?
Get out of my office.
Gladly.
Get out!
But anyway, let's get back to Neil and his growing discomfort.
Let's go back to that grandma's house. See what else is going on in there. Okay, here we go. Another playlet. unless they ran straight into the treat suite room. This one's very weird. They're going back into the safe room for more fun from our aged, well-made-up friends. Oh, and there's people setting it up.
How does this keep happening? It's like they're doing it on purpose at this point.
Would you like to dance? Would you like to dance? Oh, come dance with me.
I'll dance, yes. You're the least creepy of the
You're so nice.
I should leave.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Is it okay?
Oh, I'm
Is it okay?
Are you friendly?
Yeah, and I'd rather not. This is a little too close.
Well, we noticed that you have lovely teeth. That's where we're coming from.
From the dentist.
Yes, definitely. Why are we dancing?
Okay.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, do we have to step away from
Hi.
Good times. All right, that was me watching my husband go buck wild, and they're off into the treat suite. I bet we get to hear some fun music play as they run through the screamy screamers. And they get some Reese's in. Nice, nice. Okay, that was making me sweat, and that was fun. I hope you enjoyed that. I think we might be done with those rooms.
I wonder why Neil is sweating so much. It's all going so well.
What?
We thought you came.
Okay. No, this way. We're going this way. No, go.
Dad. Grab the, what do you mean grab the?
There is no king.
There's no
Okay.
Okay, that door wasn't supposed to open, but they've escaped, and they escaped with the key, so that was fantastic. By the way, that was 3/4 of our entire budget, was that room. Listen, some of the rooms are meant to be magic-y. Some of these rooms are meant to be like a scene, more immersive theater-y. Some of the rooms are meant to be just straight up scare, right? Also, just to remind you, when I talked about the first group and said Connie and been in the TV audience for 24 cooking shows, that's this group. That's this group. I read this one, and we were looking at these people. Okay? So it's a scare for all of us. All right, we're getting them back into the hallway, and we're gonna try room number 2 with these ladies.
Oh no.
You find it?
Yes.
Help me, come here, please.
Oh.
Help me, please.
Oh God.
Thank you.
Don't touch her! Leave my family!
Go run.
We weren't supposed to help. I think we were just supposed to leave once we get the key. No?
I don't know.
There they go. Yes.
He says heaven.
Ah.
Okay.
Through.
Look, he had a noodle between.
This is officially the...
This is a restroom.
No.
I don't mean like a restroom.
The relaxing room.
Looking for a toilet after that one.
How long do we get to stay?
Someone should tell them that they can eat once they get into the Reese's room.
Go back to
Do we
the
get to
noodles.
Just in
stay?
And do we
general.
get to keep the keys?
They get to keep the keys.
I got.
I have one.
After all, yes, give
I have
them
a
a
key.
give them a key. Oh, look, I love those. They seem a little traumatized by all of this.
Guess we just hang out.
That was kind of cool. I like the contortion girls in the mannequin room. That one worked better the second time. Okay. We're getting this. We're getting this. Next week, we will be solid. Okay.
I'm sure you probably could tell by now, but there was no next week. There was no redo. This was it. This was the show, and this is how it went. Now, I don't know how much money they put into this thing, but let's think about this for a second. Okay, so they rented this giant studio space in New York City for what I can only assume is a couple weeks. They paid a construction team that has been working day in and day out constructing this set from scratch for at least a couple weeks. They hired a full broadcast TV crew, tons of actors, all of the props, all of the set design, all of the food. Hell, even just look at the treat suite. How much Reese's do you think is in there? So how much money do you think they actually spent on this project? $100,000? $200,000? $500,000? Whatever it was, I can guarantee that they did not sell enough Reese's peanut butter cups in order to merit throwing all of that money into this live stream, especially when the viewership was, let's just say less than stellar.
This is a group, we're not even gonna show a little clip for them. Here's what we did. We got 2 people in the team are from the media. They wanted to do interviews. And so we said, instead of doing interviews, like, hi, how are you? Nice to see you. We just said we'd put them into this and put them through the thing. So fingers crossed, ow, that they're going to be scared and write kind things. So I think we should probably head to the room, because I honestly don't even know their names. Because I was just told this is when the press team is going to go through, and if someone gets hurt, it's going to become a story. If someone, oh wait, okay, it's starting. Oh, here they come.
No, there's a light that will turn on. Oh, is that the room? I think that's it. I think that's what we do.
I mean, that was definitely a light that turned on.
Oh,
wait.
Okay, they look confused. Where should I
There was
send
a
them?
light, and
Where
now
should
there's
I
not a light.
send them?
There's a light.
This room?
But that has a light too.
Where should I send them? I should just let them hang for a minute.
Okay, we'll do that one then.
Let's take them to Grandma's house.
Oh, okay.
Would you believe me if I said this wasn't gonna turn out well?
Oh, okay. Okay. No, this is terrifying. I don't. Okay. What do we do? Just sit on the couch. No.
No, it's what she said for sure.
No. Okay. What do we do? There's no way. What is happening? I'm not touching anybody.
Welcome!
Hi. How you doing? Okay. Oh wait, no. No. Are we holding hands? Are you holding hands? Are we holding hands? Are you holding hands? Who's holding hands? How's it going?
Lie down!
Lay down!
Lay down?
Lay down.
Okay.
Heads
Lay down.
here. Heads here.
Heads
I
here?
feel like this is glass.
That's good.
Where should my body go? It doesn't matter.
That's right.
This way.
Oh, I'm doing it wrong. Okay. I got it.
Heads here.
Yes.
Heads here.
Be comfortable.
Okay. Super cozy.
I'll give this to you.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You
No,
get
no.
that.
Yes.
Okay.
Now.
Oh, great. Okay.
key.
Okay.
Please.
Oh God. Hey guys.
Okay, a couple things. That one was apparently cut and not rehearsed. So glad the media saw that one. Oh, there they go. That's a good reveal. Yeah, good. Okay. Another thing. I thank the media for correcting lie down to lay down. I think that was the best. Ah, boy. We're gonna send. You know what? We should just send them straight to the treat suite, because all we pretty much did was torment and traumatize them, and have old people yell at them, which is horrible for many. But a lot of the scares that were supposed to happen in that room did not. And they didn't have a key. Welcome to the treat suite!
Thank you. Ruined the noodles. Hi. You know what? I might take a second to decompress.
Take a second. How was it?
Hot, really hot. You know, heart rate's up. But I'm good. All right, I'll take a cupcake now. Now we're good.
I love that they threw a Reese's shirt and an orange hat onto a random PA and told her to stand there in the treat suite because Neil was like, hey, does anyone even know that, you know, you can eat in there? Because clearly they spent all that money putting all that Reese's stuff in there and no one's even eating it.
Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers. Cheers. Oh my God.
I think, if I'm being honest,
Why did I have to be the one in the towel? Why did I
the
say
reason
towel
that
head?
happened was to be a horror haunted experience for me
All right, it's much nicer out here. It's nice and safe.
in a myriad of ways.
And it's bright.
The room didn't go right. They didn't get a key.
You got out of the
That's the only room we sent them through. And they're going to report about it. So, my mea culpa. I will say this to anyone in the media that's watching. This is our beta test.
Do I count as a member of the media? Is Neil talking to me?
Boy, what work we've put into it as a whole, as a larger piece of entertainment. So thank you for coming, and thank you. And if any of you need a one-on-one interview afterwards, I'm happy to give you an exclusive. We could talk about my Halloween costume for the family, if you say nice. We're off the damn rails. All right, they're in their first room. That second blackout was supposed to happen a lot sooner.
I would just like to note at this point that this event was originally scheduled to be 2 hours long. We are currently 45 minutes into this thing, and you can tell from Neil's screaming eyeballs that he is begging for this nightmare to end.
Where?
Hey, look, they made it to the Reese's treat house. The treat suite. Oh, and they're eating.
What?
Somebody's jumping the ball pit.
Wasn't it the best time you've ever had in all your days?
All right.
See? We do have fun.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what's over there? I didn't even see what that, were they in a different candy land? I need to get to the Reese's Treat Suite, by the way, because that looks like, honestly, that looks like way more fun than just being stuck inside a chain link fence maze with no way out and people hammering at you with things.
Goodness. What is that?
This is a cheesecake, Reese's cheesecake. These are delicious donuts.
Mm-hmm.
These are incredible.
Oh, a wall of
apples.
Yes.
Why does it white? Just because it's their anniversary? Okay.
Look at that. Thank you. Whoo!
At this point, Neil Patrick Harris's cycle of grief is almost complete. The only thing that's left, acceptance.
Many of you may have been anticipating a different haunted experience. This is a very interesting for us test to see what scares people and how and in what sequence. I was also surprised at how many cameramen there were on. They were the scariest part, the camera operators. I don't know about you, but when I saw the third camera operator, who I'd never even met him, I jumped. All right. I want to thank Reese's, Facebook, and most of all you at home for participating in this. If we get to do it again, we are going to do it in much more interesting fashions. Not that this wasn't interesting. I had a really fun time. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much, everybody. Happy Halloween. I can't wait to see what you're going to dress up as. Oh, boy. Bye-bye. Enjoy your trick-or-treating. More.
Now, okay, let's backtrack a little bit here. Do you remember that media team that went through the walkthrough just a little while ago? Now, I could not find a single article written about this live stream event. There are a couple articles that were written before your regular promotional kind of stuff. Absolutely nothing after the event aired, which kind of leads me to believe that they probably begged these reporters not to say anything about this. They wanted to sweep this thing under the rug. But anyone who knows me knows that I'm a hard-hitting investigative journalist. I'm not. So I actually managed to secure an interview with an actor who was involved in this project. I'm gonna be keeping their identity a secret, just so that in case there was any sort of blowback because of just, you know, kind of sharing their experiences on set. But anyway, all of that preamble aside, let's get the inside scoop from our anonymous informant.
Hello, I was hired as one of the actors to be part of Neil Patrick Harris's It's Alive, and I played one of the scary monsters in the haunted house experience.
Neil Patrick Harris mentioned time and time again all of this preparation and all of these rehearsals that went into this project. So at this point, I'm kind of just wondering, how did those rehearsals go?
So no, first of all, he did say that. However, we were on cast about a week before, and then we actually weren't supposed to show up until the day before the live broadcast. And then when we got there, the first day, I was probably there for about 12 hours, and only about maybe 45 minutes of that were we actually rehearsing. The rest of the day was just sitting and holding, and you could kind of see that the crew was sort of scrambling and running around, and people could seem kind of stressed, and we really weren't sure what we were supposed to be doing. And so we really barely had a rehearsal the first day, and then I was like, well, okay, the next day we'll have a big dress rehearsal. No, the day of, we actually didn't rehearse, at least my room or my scene, at all.
Good to know. So with absolutely no preparation on the part of the actors who are going to be doing, you know, the performing, the entertainment, what was the experience like on set from the perspective of the actors?
It was just so hot and so awkward. It's so silent. There's no music, there were no songs. All we could hear were sort of yeah, the camera guys yelling at each other in the distance. We didn't know when people were coming in, and the lights were dimmed as well, so there was no warning of, oh, they're coming. There was no radio, like, hey, like, they're coming. They would just show up, and we were like, oh, is this the crew? And then they would be like, oh, kind of scared, and we were like, okay, so now these are the participants. And that was kind of the only way we knew. And then they didn't know what to do, we didn't know what to do, and we were all just sweaty and quiet and confused.
Okay, no surprises there. So, I think that this project is kind of a great example of expectation versus reality. You know, on paper, this sounds like it would be a really great project, incredibly ambitious, you know, first of its kind, an interactive live stream haunted house where people get to be involved and make interactive choices. And hey, it's headlined by a major celebrity. It had all of the makings of a pretty awesome project. I think nothing demonstrates how different the hype train versus reality was than this description from our actor of what the audition process was like for this Halloween special.
The audition process was so funny because I was thrilled. They kept saying, okay, so this is like the first of its kind project. It is a live, interactive, haunted house, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. And it's with a mystery celebrity guest or celebrity host. So, who is it? And they wouldn't tell us, but they were like, it's someone huge. It's a big household name, and I was thrilled. They had contortionists, they had magicians, and we went in and they asked us all these questions. I have sort of a background in horror, and so they asked me like, oh, well, what do you have experience with prosthetics? And I said, oh yes, and they really asked a lot of questions. Some people came in with their own sort of contortionist performances that they choreographed themselves. And you may notice that none of that was actually seen in the thing because once again everyone was just very confused. But the audition was actually pretty legit, and there were so many people, so talented. And yeah, we were called in little groups, and they would interview us, and we talked to, there were, I think, 1 or 2 men in there, and also a man on Skype, who, he seemed to be the boss, who we were really auditioning for. And then the next day, they were like, you booked it, and it's with Neil Patrick Harris, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh. They said that there would be 6 million people watching. I think there ended up being like a few hundred.
6 million people? Are they out of their damn minds? That would have been one of the most watched live streams in history. The current record is Felix Baumgartner's Space Jump world record from 2012, which had over 8 million concurrent viewers. I don't think a Reese's commercial could ever top that.
I don't know where they got the 6 million from, but that's what they kept telling us. There were like millions of people, around 6 million people are going to be watching this because it was going to be on Facebook, and I think they were making that number up because it was showing on the Reese's official Facebook page and Neil Patrick Harris's official Facebook page. And maybe that's like the combined number of followers that they have. But that's not really that really doesn't mean that it's going to be that many people watching. But still, I thought, oh, at least maybe a few thousand. I mean, this is going to be really big. The production value was huge. We as the actors didn't come until the day before, which was really poor planning. But I do know that they built the set from scratch, and they had been building it for months. I mean, I wasn't even seeing, like, I've gone back in the video and I still can't see myself. However, I was paid $500 for the 2 days. I really did nothing. It was kind of sat around. So I can only imagine what the budget was on this project. I mean, I was kind of like an expert, maybe not even an expert, but I wasn't even seen. but I still walked away with $500, which is crazy. And then of course to hire Neil to get this big studio space for the alpha weeks.
Money well spent. It's Alive, created by Neil Patrick Harris, truly is the room of live streams.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hey, Johnny, what's up?
Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you think that digging up this gem for your viewing pleasure was enough to merit a like, please smash that like button. And if you enjoy content like this and you'd like to see more in the future, please hit subscribe. And not only that, ring that bell. When you hit that bell button, you're actually notified when new content is uploaded. I encourage you to do that, not just on this channel, but on all of your favorite YouTube channels. Happy Halloween, ladies and ghouls, and I'll see you in the next one.